Thank you so much for coming out to tonight's screening. Hi. My name is Mara Webster. I'm the co-founder and host of In Creative Company, and please join me in giving our panelists tonight a huge welcome, starting with creator and director of the series, Hwang Dok-hyuk. And after the meeting, Director Hwang, I wanted to start with a question for you because, when you created season 1, we look at what does it mean to win the Squid Game, and I love it going into thank you. I love going into season 2 that you explore the storyline of what does it mean to win the Squid Game and what does it mean to try to live with it after all of the trauma and what that experience has meant. And I heard that was a big thing that you wanted to open the season with. So how did that shape the way that you wanted to open the season and continue to explore that narrative throughout the rest of the series?
게임을 이긴다는 것에 대한 이야기보다는 성균 456번 성균이라는 사람이 오징어 게임을 이기고 살아남은 그 상태에서 어떤 사람이 되었는가가 가장 중요하다고 생각했어요. 어떤 사람들이 오징어 게임의 승자가 됐을 때 그 승리에 만족하고 그가 번 돈에 만족하고 또는 그 안에서 인간에 느낀 어떤 배신감과 희망감으로 전혀 다른 오히려 한쪽에 가까운 사람이 될 수 있지만 성규이라는 한 인물은 그가 456억을 벌었고 그 안에서 수많은 사람들의 슈명의 모습을 봤음에도 불구하고 여전히 인간다움을 포기하지 않으려는 그런 그 마음속에 아주 강한 의지를 가진 사람이라고 생각을 했고 그래서 차마 딸을 보는 그런 비행기에 그 돈을 들고 딸의 선물을 사서 그 비행기에 탈 수 없는 사람이 되었다고 생각을 했어요. 그 비록 안에서는 많이 그 경험을 망가지고 비틀어졌지만 여전히 그 지키고자 하는 어떤 인간다움에 대한 어떤 본성 그것은 잃지 않은 그 성기훈의 모습을 가지고 시즌 2를 시작하고자 했습니다.
Rather than the second season being about the meaning of what it means to win the game, it was more so about what kind of person has Ki-hoon, number 456, changed to or has become after he has experienced all of those brutalities and came out the winner of Squid Game. Because for some people, when you come out the winner of Squid Game, you may be content with what you have. You may be happy with the money that you earned. And on the other hand, you might become completely disgusted with what you have witnessed in there, so much so that you choose the dark side because you now have absolutely no hope and you almost feel betrayed by humanity. However, Ki-hoon is the type of person where even though you have now gained 45.6 billion won and you have seen the rock bottom of humanity, he is still someone who refuses to let go of that sliver of hope that he wishes to carry on for humanity. And he's the type of person who cannot dare use this blood money on his hands just to buy a gift for his daughter and get on the plane. And no matter how broken, no matter how desolate he is left after playing Squid Game, he does not, or more so, he refuses to lose hope in humanity.
And JJ, coming over to you, I remember you talking about how much preparation work you did for your character in season 1, and that it was important that he feel like someone that anybody could know. He could be anybody's neighbor that was watching the series. And part of the preparation you did included going to public places and observing and watching a lot of people to figure out details. And I was curious about what the preparation for this character looked like for you in season 2, given that you now have all this history from playing him in season 1.
시즌 1 촬영 직전에 기운, 평범한 그 기운을 연기하려고
시장이라든가 사람들이 많이 다니는 곳을 혼자서 이렇게 마스크 쓰고 이렇게 많이 다녔었다라는 인터뷰를 예전에 했었는데요. 시즌 2를 준비하면서는 그런 일은 하지 않았고 오히려 이제 시즌 2에 변화된 그 기분을 어떤 식으로 이제 표현할까를 고민을 많이 했었습니다. 그리고 또 감독님하고도 고민을 많이 했었고요. 그 성격적으로나 어떤 그런 트라우마를 겪은 그런 기운이 심각해질 수밖에 없었고, 그리고 또 이 게임을 만든 사람들을 잡아야 되겠고, 게임을 멈춰야 되겠다는 어떤 목적이 굉장히 강한 성격으로 변화된 거는 맞지만, 기분이 태생 자체가 선한 마음으로 태어났고, 그다음에 아주 극히 평범한 인물로 살아왔었던 것을 이제 시즌 2에서 계속 연결을 주고 싶었었습니다. 오징어 게임이라는 그런 무도한 어떤 그런 게임장 안에서 살아남았다 하더라도 평범성이 없어져서 예전에 공장에서 일하던 기운이 갑자기 솔저 기운으로 변한다는 것은 좀 적절치 않은 것 같았고, 그리고 특히 시즌 1의 관객분들이 기운의 모습을 좋아하셨었던 것이 바로 평범한 남자이지만 선한 마음을 가지고 있는 그 모습을 좋아하신 것 같아서 그 두 가지 부분은 항상 시즌 2로 넘어오면서도 잘 연기를 하려고 노력했습니다.
When I was working on season 1, so before we went into filming, in order to be able to portray, like you said, Ki-hoon, who's a normal, everyday guy, I did go into like the markets and went out to the streets wearing a mask, trying to observe people. I remember saying that in an interview. And for season 2, I didn't do much of that, but rather a lot of my focus and mental preparation went into how are we going to portray the changed Ki-hoon that we will need in season 2. And that's what the director and I had many discussions on as well. Both character-wise and also having survived such traumatic events, I thought that it would be right, only right, for Ki-hoon to have become a lot more serious, a lot more heavier, and also he's someone who's a lot more driven by the sole purpose to put an end to the games. However, having said that, there is still this goodness of heart that Ki-hoon was born with. And I wanted to make sure that we carried the essence and the nature of the character where he's someone who's good at heart and he's someone that you can just see in the streets, a normal everyday guy. And so even though he went through such atrocities of having survived Squid Game, I thought that it would not be right for the character, for him to all of a sudden lose his ordinariness and become someone like an ex-soldier or something like that, when he's actually someone who used to work at a factory. And also, because so many fans out there love that about Ki-hoon, the fact that he's an everyday guy with a goodness of heart, I wanted to make sure that those two things about the nature of the character still carried on.
And coming over to you, Byung-hun, you know, season 1 frontman had a lot of mystery to him, and then I love that scene when we finally revealed his face in front of his brother. It was a wonderful scene, you know, and without giving away any spoilers, we get to see a lot more of frontman this season, and we get to see a lot of your performance without the mask. And I was curious how this really allowed you to go much deeper with the character and what sort of preparation you did for season 2.
시즌 1과 달리 시즌 1에서는 사실 프론트맨을 굉장히 기능적인 그런 역할을 했다면 이제는 비로소 가면을 벗고 그걸 어떻게 살아왔는지 또 어떻게 하다가 오징어 게임에 참가를 결정하게 됐는지, 그리고 오징어 게임을 참여하면서 어떤 고통스러운 일들을, 그리고 얼마나 인간에게 대해서 희망이 없다고 생각할 만큼 인간의 어떤 밑바닥까지를 경험했는지에 대한 그런 이야기들이 나오고, 또 황인호 본인의 어떤 감정들 그리고 생각들, 이런 것들이 이런 것들은 다 여러분들은 볼 수가 있을 거예요. 그런 부분들을 표현할 수 있고 연기할 수 있다는 것이 굉장히 배우로서는 굉장히 설레었고 되게 되게 어려운 그런 어떤 감정들을 아주 미묘한 감정들을 표현하는 그런 어려움도 있었지만 대부분은 정말 아주 재미있게 촬영을 했었던 기억이 납니다.
Unlike in the first season, because in season 1, Frontman played only a limited functional role, but this time around, the mask comes off and you're going to get to understand more about what kind of life he has led, how he came to decide to enter Squid Game, and what he went through as he went through the atrocities in Squid Game, the rock bottom of humanity that he had to witness, and how he came to become someone who had lost all hope for mankind. And also you'll get a glimpse into Inho, the actual character's emotions and thoughts. And as an actor, to be able to be given the chance to portray such complex layers and thoughts in a very nuanced way, it was indeed an exciting challenge for me, albeit quite challenging. But still, all in all, I had a lot of fun with portraying this character this season.
One of the things that I wanted to ask you, Director Hwang, about directing the series is I think people love the way that you play with tension and with tone. There's a lot of darkness that's very enjoyable in the show. And it's interesting to watch season 2 and return to these games because much like Ian, we, the audience, have an expectation of what some of these games are and what some of the outcomes might be. And so how did you want to find different ways to play with that idea of tension for the audience, such as the choice that after every single game this season, all of the players get to vote whether they remain in the game or whether the game ends?
시즌 2에서 이제 여러분들이 보시게 될 제일 중요한 요소가 아마 시즌 1과 좀 달라진, 물론 다른 게임들도 등장을 하지만 시즌 1에서는 사실 첫 번째 게임 후에만 그 투표를 했잖아요. 나갈지 게임을 계속할지를. 이제 시즌 2에서는 그 매 게임마다 그 투표를 하게 됩니다. 이 게임을 계속할지 떠날 아니면 그만두고 나갈지에 대해서. 그래서 그 투표를 통해서 이제 제가 이걸 굳이 시즌 2에 가장 다른 요소를 집어넣었던 것은 뭐 여러분들도 뭐 이미 많이 경험하셔서 아시겠지만 지금 이 세상이 너무나 많은 그 갈등과 분열들로 가득 차 있고 뭐 한국도 마찬가지로 미국도 뭐 선거나 많은 경우를 통해서 분열하는 양상들을 다들 아시고 계실 거고 뭐 꼭 정치적인 어떤 비유법뿐만이 아니라 뭐 인종이든 그것이 종교가 됐든 세대가 됐든 아니면 젠더가 됐든 많은 어떤 서로가 서로를 적대시하고 둘로 나눠진 현상들을 보실 수 있을 겁니다. 그래서 이번 시즌에는 그런 것들을 좀 더 적극적으로 스퀴드 게임 그 스토리 안으로 끌어들여서 O와 X로 투표를 하고 가슴에 그 자신이 선택한 것을 붙이고 서로를 적대시하며 갈등하고 둘로 갈라지는 모습을 통해서 우리가 지금 살고 있는 세상에서 벌어지는 일들을 좀 다른 측면으로 스퀴드 게임 내부에서 한번 바라보기를 원하는 마음에서 그런 장치들을 많이 넣었습니다. 여러분들 곧 방금 선거를 끝내셨고 뭐 한국에서도 그동안 탄핵되는 사태가 일어나서 내년에 또 다른 선거가 펼쳐질지도 모르는데 아마 그런 선거를 생각하시면서 또 이 스퀴드게임 안에 벌어지는 그런 투표들을 보시면 더 흥미롭게 이 스퀴드게임 시즌 2를 관람하실 수 있을 것 같습니다.
In the second season, I'm sure you have all seen, and you will know that one of the main and differentiating factors and most important elements, of course, including the new games that you'll see, is that in the first season, after the first round, the players got to vote whether or not they want to stay or leave the game. However, in the second season, that vote takes place after each round. So after every game is played, the players get to vote whether or not they want to stay or leave. And what I wanted to do by bringing in this voting element after each round is close to what you have experienced here at home, but globally, just the world is filled with so much division and conflict, whether it's in Korea or in the States. You know, you've just had your election. It leads to so much division and conflict among us. And it's not just about the political aspects, you know, there's religion, there's race, gender, generation. In every way we can imagine, we are coming up with ways to divide one another and feel hostile against one another. And in season 2, I wanted to bring light to those elements, and I did that by bringing in the voting aspect. After each vote, the players have to wear what they voted as a mark, as a patch on their clothes, and they otherize each other, they become hostile to the other side, and that leads to further exacerbated division and conflict. And through these elements, I wanted to show a little bit of what's going on around the world these days, and I wanted to take a look at it in maybe a different light. In America, you recently wrapped up your elections. In Korea, our president was impeached so that we are facing a possible presidential election again next year. And so I think that for the viewers out there, think about these things that are happening in the real world as you watch Squid Game, and it's going to be a lot more intriguing watch for you.
JJ, one of the other things I wanted to ask you about your performance is you have such incredible range of emotional responses and the fear and the trauma and the experience of being in these games. And throughout season 1, the way that you played this wasn't just the emotional side, but you also played the physical impact of fear as well. So by the time we got to the end of the season, he was in a very different place physically from the beginning. And I was interested in coming back to the games in season 2, how you built on what you had created, but thought about it a little bit differently because his approach and reason to being in the games is different this time.
아까 이제 대답했었던 거하고 조금 더 연장이 되는 것 같은데요. 기훈이 아무리 강한 어떤 그런 마음을 먹었고, 그다음에 그 기훈이 목표를 이루기 위해서 굉장히 마음을 강하게 먹었다는 것은 분명하지만, 그렇다고 해서 공포를 못 느낀다든가 두려움을 못 느끼는 그런 기운으로 연기하고 싶지는 않았습니다. 그래서 그 두려움과 공포는 시즌 1 때보다도 훨씬 더 있다고 생각합니다. 제가 예전에 좀 비교는 좀 잘 안 되지만은 예전에 번지 점프를 처음 뛸 때는 그냥 주저없이 그냥 뛰었는데 두 번째 뛸 때는 못 뛰겠더라고요. 그 무서움이 어떤 무서움인지 알 것 같아서 두 번째는 사실은 거기까지 올라갔다가 결국은 못 뛰고 다시 내려왔거든요. 그랬던 그 기억이 나다 보니까 그 게임장을 처음에 경험했었던 그 기운보다는 두 번째 경험하러 들어가는 그 기운의 공포와 두려움이 10배는 더 컸을 거라고 저는 상상이 됐거든요. 그래서 그 두려움을 이겨내는 그 기운이 진정한 어떤 용기를 내는 사람 주인공이고, 그리고 또 우리에겐 그런 용기가 있는 사람이 우리 사회에 필요하지 않을까라는 것을 관객분들이 좀 느껴주시면 좋겠다라는 생각으로 두려움과 공포는 항상 가지고 연기를 했습니다.
I think this is building on my previous answer, but there is no doubt that this time around, Ki-hoon is someone who's so much more determined, who has this very strong conviction to put an end to it all, and who is extremely purpose-driven. Having that said, I did not want to portray Ki-hoon as a character who was immune to any kind of fear. And I think that when I interpret the character, I believe that when it comes to the sense of fear, he's actually a lot more afraid in season 2 than he is in season 1. I remember when I bungee jumped for the first time it was okay. I could get off the jump. But when you go back for a second time, that's when it's really scary because you know what it's going to be like. You know the fear. So I have to admit, in the second time around, I had to chicken out and get down the stairs. And so I thought that Ki-hoon's second round of Squid Game is going to be a lot more filled with terror and fear for him, probably 10 times more so. And when you see Ki-hoon, he's there despite the fear, and he tries to overcome it. And that's what makes him a brave person. That's what what courage does for him. And I think that's the kind of person, and that's the kind of courage that we need in this world today. And so I hope that the viewers out there, as you watch the series and as you watch Ki-hoon's journey, you can keep that in mind and see him from that light.
And if we're talking more about Frontman, one of the interesting aspects in playing him is that he's someone who at one point had a sense of a connection to humanity, but it feels like he's really lost that over time. But in watching Yen play the games, it feels like there's a connection that he sees and something that he sees in himself that starts to draw out a little bit more of that humanity. And so how did you want to approach playing him very differently in starting to opening up the idea of him reconnecting with a version of himself from his past?
여러분들이 지금 에피소드 1밖에 안 보셔가지고 많은 얘기를 할 수 없다는 것이 스포일러 때문에 그래서 좀 약간 안타까운데 스포일러가 없는 한에서 이야기를 하자면 저는 이 이야기는 사실 기우는 이 모든 시스템을 막으려고 이 게임에 다시 이제 참가하게 됐고 그런 기운을 막고자 또 그리고 그의 신념을 꺾고자 하는 것이 프론트맨의 또 목적이에요. 그렇기 때문에 이야기의 전체 시즌 2를 관통하는 가장 중심적인 이야기는 두 사람의 서로의 대립이 되는데 분명 그런 기운을 관찰하고 또 계속 방해를 하고 그의 신념을 꺾기 위해서 여러 가지 테스트를 하고 옆에서 지켜보지만 아마 또 저는 연기하면서 그런 생각을 분명히 했어요. 기운을 보면서 이전에 자기 자신이 처음 게임에 참여했을 때 그 모습을 어느 순간 나의 모습을 기운을 통해서 보게 되고 또 그런 감정들이 생기면서는 또 어떤 면에서는 세상에 그리고 인간에게 희망이 없다라고 생각하는 프론트맨이 마음 한구석에 한켠에는 네가 말하는 것처럼 나 또한 어쩌면 세상에 아주 작은 희망이라도 또 인간에게 아주 작은 희망이라도 있긴 말하지만 세상은 그런 것이 아니다라는 걸 끝까지 밀어붙이는 그런 어떤 생각들을 하면서 했었던 것 같아요.
So you all have just watched episode 1, so I can't say much. I don't want to spoil anything, which I wish wasn't the case. However, without any spoilers, what this story really is about is there's Ki-hoon, who is very driven and who comes back to the game wanting to stop the game and put an end to the system. And then opposite side of him, there is the frontman who wants to stop Ki-hoon from doing that, who wants to frustrate his attempts or his beliefs. He wants to bring his beliefs down. And what penetrates the second season is that main story. That conflict is at the heart of the story arc of season 2. And from the frontman's perspective, when he sees Ki-hoon, as much as he will do anything to stop him, to interfere with his plans, and to try, attempt many things, put him to a test, and all of those things in order to really bring down his spirit and beliefs. This is how I interpreted the character as I brought him to life. I think that from the frontman's perspective, when he sees Ki-hoon, he almost sees a little bit of himself in him. He almost can see himself when he first joined Squid Game in Ki-hoon. And as he goes through those different layers of emotions, I think that the frontman, who now believes there's absolutely no hope in the world or for humanity, just in a very, very deep part of his heart, maybe he feels as if, or he even hopes that there is some hope left for the world or humanity. But he still is someone who believes that there is no hope in the world, and he will stand by what he believes. So that's the kind of approach I took in portraying the frontman.
Talking a little bit more about the writing of the series, one of the things that's so impressive in the way that you build all of these many characters and the players is that you always give them such rich backstory and history, and they also feel so connected in the way that
any person in this room could end up in a situation where if they were presented with this option, they would maybe say yes as well. And when you were writing the new season, how did you set about developing each of the characters and making sure that they all came with so much history?
사실 여러분들이 사랑하고 제가 좋아했던 모든 캐릭터를 시즌 1에서 다 제가 죽여보면서 정말 시즌 2를 만들 때 정말 난감하게 했었어요.
So because I killed off all of your and my favorite characters, it was very challenging to come up with these new characters.
이번 시즌을 구상하면서 제일 크게 생각했던 지점은 시즌 1 때하고 달리 시즌 1 때까지만 해도 이제 이렇게 큰 비주얼 게임에 들어오려면 그래도 어느 정도 중년 이상의 나이가 되어야 그 정도 깊어지고 동시에 올릴 거라고 생각을 했어요. 그래서 시즌 1을 보시면 거의 젊은 캐릭터가 없는데 시즌 1을 찍으면서 그리고 끝낼 무렵에 다시 세상을 돌아보니 코비드를 거치면서 세상이 또 많이 빠르게 변화하더라고요. 많은 젊은이들이 뭐 한국에뿐만 아니라 전 세계에서 점점 더 좋은 일을 통해서 그리고 성실하게 노동을 통해서 돈을 벌고 사회 계층의 사다리를 올라갈 수 있다는 생각을 점점 더 포기하게 되는 것 같았어요. 그만큼 입자치도 줄어들었고 그들은 점점 더 일확천금을 노리는 일들에 집중하게 되면서 한국에서는 뭐 온라인 갬블이라든가 크립토커런시 같은 데다가 큰 돈을 막 빚을 내서 투자를 했다가 크게 손해를 보고 30대에 이미 큰 빚과 경제적인 어려움을 처하는 사람들을 뉴스를 통해서 주변에서 많이 보게 되었습니다. 그래서 더 이상 오션 게임에 참가할 수 있는 어떤 그런 사람들이 더 이상 이렇게 나이 같은 사람들이 아니구나. 이제는 젊은 친구들도 그런 비슷한 상황에 놓이게 되었구나라는 좀 그런 암울한 생각이 들어서 시즌 3에서 이런 현실을 좀 더 적극적으로 반영하기 위해서 좀 더 젊은 캐릭터들을 오션 게임 안에 포함을 시키고자 했습니다.
When I was planning the characters for this season, I thought that, unlike in season 1, where when I was writing for season 1, for people to have that kind of debt, for people to be under such financial crisis, you had to be of a certain age. And so that's why you don't see a lot of younger characters in the first season. But after the first season launched and over a couple of years, I looked around, what's going on around the world, and I realized that after COVID, the world had yet changed so much and so rapidly. Not just in Korea, but in many parts of the world, you see more and more young people almost seeming to give up because they no longer feel like diligent labor is going to allow them to save money and climb up the social ladder. And there are less decent jobs as time goes on. And more and more younger people are drawn to, wanting to hit the jackpot instantly. They're drawn to online gambling, investing, taking out a loan to invest in cryptocurrency, which has left actual people in 20s and 30s very deep in debt. That's what you read in the news and also what you hear from people around you. And so I got to realize that you no longer have to be of a certain age for somebody to be so desperate that you want to be a part of Squid Game. And so I wanted to reflect a little bit of that very true reality to the story of this season.
And lastly, for you, JJ, it's interesting to watch the relationships that your character has with the other players in the game this season, because he's come back into the game and he knows a little bit about what to expect. And so to some people, he becomes a leader that they look to for answers, and other people question whether they can trust him or not. And how did that give you a different space this season to play all the relationships with the other players?
시즌 1 때도 게임 안에서 또 그 캐릭터들 간의 어떤 심리적인 변화, 또 그들만의 뭐라 그럴까요? 게임 안에 게임이 있는 듯한 그런 심리전이 굉장히 인상적이었었거든요. 근데 시즌 2는 그게 좀 더 배가 되는 것 같아서, 특히 이제 더 여러 캐릭터들이 그 사연들이 다 기구한 사연들로 인해서 들어오다 보니까 그 아주 가슴 아픈 그런 사연들을 볼 때 기분도 마음이 굉장히 쏠리게 되거든요. 저 사람을 꼭 도와야 되겠다라는 마음이 쏠리게 되는데 그 안에서 진짜 도움이 필요한 사람이 있고 도움을 마치 이렇게 필요로 하는 것처럼 거짓으로 이렇게 표현하는 사람도 있고 해서 언젠가는 그 사람에게 또 배신을 당하게도 되고 또 언젠가는 믿지 못했었던 사람에게도 또 도움을 받게 되는 그런 굉장히 그 안에서 굉장히 그 다양한 변수들이 나오는 것이 또 흥미로운 지점들이거든요. 그래서 이번 시즌 2 때도 게임도 재밌지만은 그런 관계성이 더 재밌는 부분들을 분명히 보실 수 있으실 겁니다.
In the first season, within the games, there was a lot of mind games being played and also a lot of character nuances and transitions that happened within the characters, almost where the mind games that you see in Squid Game feels like it's a game within a game. And what I can tell you is that in season 2, that's even greater, more so. And especially because in the second season, you see all of the characters with such rich backstories. And the character Ki-hoon, when he hears of these stories and the past of these characters, he starts to feel for them and he wants to help them. Some people within the games, they actually are in need of help. There are some who are just deceitful, feigning as if they're helpless. And then there are going to be people that betray one another. And then there's going to be times when someone that you didn't trust actually ends up lending you a hand. And so all of these variations and a lot of what can change within the character dynamics is definitely what's really intriguing this time around as well. I think that not only the games, there are something that you want to look out for, but definitely the intense and complex character dynamics is what's going to be extremely intriguing.
Such a good the rest of the episodes of the season. It's just as phenomenal as the first. So thank you so much for sharing all of this, and we'll see you last week.
My favorite film is